I am delighted to welcome Jan Cisek and Susan Norman to the Presenters Hot Seat this afternoon. Thank you both for joining us. You are doing a joint presentation at the NLP conference this year, and the topic is shortcuts to speed reading. So very curious about this topic and its relationship with NLP. So do start by telling us a little bit more about yourselves and your presentation.
Okay, well, Jan's been teaching speed reading for almost as long as I've known him. And when did you start, Jan?
Oh, that was 22 years ago.
Okay. And then we met up a couple of years, well, we met up while you were doing it. And then we joined together because my thing is accelerated learning.
Right.
And so the aim was to get the course as good as it could be in terms of teaching it. So he knew how to do it and he was teaching it well, but we've got a passion for doing things better all the time. So we're always looking for not only a better way, but a quicker way, so efficient and effective.
So yeah, I was teaching it already, and then Susan came to my course, and really we got excited about making it better, more efficient, and with Susan's expertise in accelerated learning, we could do it. And then we wrote a book. It's a book, Speed Reading Bible, which might be handy during the course. But we're very excited about this because we're always looking for new ways. And in our book, we have 37 speed reading techniques, but obviously in our presentation, which is 90 minutes, we'll be able to show you as many shortcuts to speed reading as we can.
Yeah. So we had to write the big one in order to be able to now get it down to what's the absolute minimum you could do and still get loads of the benefits, because people are so ready to learn things quickly these days.
Plus, we've done a lot of research. So all the techniques, we've tested it on literally thousands of people over the last 22 years. And, you know, we've got definitely more than 20,000 hours of practice.
Perfect. Mastery then.
Well, hopefully, yes. Well, in fact, yeah, no, definitely. Yes.
Definitely, I would say. So what will delegates take away from your session?
Well, the thing that people say they want is to read quicker. Mm-hmm. So we'll make sure, I mean, almost all people double their reading speed within the course. Some do more, some do not quite as much, because some people are kind of second day people. You know, they need to sleep on it. But they certainly know how to do it. And if they have another go when they're not under any pressure, most of them report back that they've done well. So we'll do that. But it's not just about reading quicker. It's about going more effectively into the information and how to get the information more quickly. And we've got loads of techniques for that. And we're going to get through as many as we possibly can in the time, making sure that, you know, it's a practical session and therefore people can have a go at things and make sure they actually know what's going on. So when they walk away, there's nothing they have to practice. It's just something they have to put into practice and get on with. So they can
a lot of people already using some of the techniques, you know, kind of intuitively, because if you're reading a lot, you'll naturally have to work on your speed reading because there's so much to read, especially in the NLP world. Yes. So ultimately, that's a good introduction to speed reading, but with very practical, effective, and efficient strategies and techniques for getting information basically quicker.
Wonderful. Yeah. I think that's definitely something that that we would benefit from, because as you say, in the NLP field, there's always many more books to read.
There are many more books, and I mean we are both NLP master practitioners, and so it's sort of we're not grounded in that, but it incorporates all of our NLP experience as well. So things like in the course that we're running in with you, you know, we'll do something like purpose, but we'll focus on what purpose means within the context of speed reading and how to actually get a really efficient purpose before you start reading, which makes a huge difference.
Also, obviously, you know, state is important because, you know, there's lots of research in terms of, you know, how your state, how you feel about things in a day, etc., can affect your performance in anything, and in this case in speed reading. But also we're adding other aspects of kind of being in a better state, in optimum state, specifically for speed reading and reading as such.
Yes. Well, I'm looking forward to this because I absolutely love I love anything that creates more efficiency.
Absolutely. Well, that's why we're going for the quickest we can possibly do. It's basically because we're lazy, but don't say that.
I like to use the word ergonomic instead of lazy. It sounds
Sorry,
better.
ergonomic. We're both very ergonomic.
Ergonomic and efficient, of course.
And efficient. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And effective, because sometimes you might need to read it something slowly, but actually you get better results. So obviously it's a range of kind of speeds, if you like, for reading, but so efficiency, time, but also effectiveness, results are key aspects for speed reading.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. So is there anything that delegates can do before attending your session that either gives them a deeper experience during your session or more understanding of your session?
Well, if anyone wants to get the book and download it and really quickly flick through it, that would help. But you don't need to do anything before you come. But if you're sitting there waiting for a session, waiting for the session to start, before the whole thing gets set up, then just sitting and thinking, what 3 things do I think I could do without any information to improve my own reading? Is there anything that I can do in other fields, any NLP stuff I know, that I just haven't applied to reading, haven't thought about applying to reading? So if you kind of get your brain in the right state before we start, that'll help. But otherwise, we'll have everything, I think.
Our ebook on Kindle, and you can go to our website, speedreading.com, has the titles of all the techniques are actually free. So you can actually download the sample version of the Kindle version and just read through it. Our website has lots of blogs, lots of tips. You can go to our website, just kind of get a sense of what the whole thing is about. So you kind of prepared, and it's obviously you get more out of the session, but we'll cover everything and we'll give you all the resources, so you actually don't need to do too much. But knowing what you want to get out of the book, any book or text, it will be useful. Plus, it will be useful for you to have some books, ideally factual books or articles, not novels, although we can, if there's time, we can cover how to speed read novels. But this is kind of leisure reading, so we're not going to go into that too much. But any books on NLP or personal development might be helpful, because we might use them.
Practice with.
And also during the session, it's useful to have pencil and paper to hand, just so you can jot down ideas or jot down things as you're thinking through or when you're practicing. But kind of nothing's essential. These are just things for the absolute.
A bit of water for relaxation as well.
Absolutely. And of course, the benefit of this being a virtual presentation is that it will be recorded, so people have the opportunity to go back to it, to revisit it again and again, so they can immerse themselves in it and then go back and write extra notes afterwards. So
absolutely, that's
it's wonderful. So, you have presented at the NLP conference before in person. And so what does the NLP International Conference mean to you?
I think it's a chance to, under normal circumstances, to link up with like-minded professionals and find out, but also, by attending the conference, we get to see how other people are applying NLP, what sort of aspects of NLP, anything that maybe someone's come up with some kind of new idea. So, it's always useful to know what's going on. So.
And also we're getting a lot of feedback from participants, because obviously the NLP is a particular context. So what people need from speed reading or any written material might be slightly different from other professionals. So it's a useful kind of platform for us to explore what's happening in NLP as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you.
And we're looking forward to it, really.
Yes, well, and again, maybe a virtual platform throughout, and in person over 2 weekends, one in person and one virtual. But of course the app that we use, the conference app, the conference platform, does enable everybody to still connect virtually and have that connection that that we so badly relied on during the COVID years.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, we used the app before that in the in-person conference as well, because it is such an easy way of just connecting with people. So I
think COVID just kick-started quite a lot of people into doing more stuff online, which has been amazing. Been great.
Yes.
Plus the apps allows people to ask questions, or maybe post questions before our presentation. So that might be useful for us as well to hear some areas that people want to explore with speed reading.
And are we putting a document online before we start, Jan?
Oh yes, so we might use one document for people to practice, and be the same for everybody. It's called The History of Speed Reading, which is appropriate. But we'll send you that before, and when the people attend the presentation, they will be able to maybe download it at the time.
So it's important. It's important for delegates to understand that that will be available on the Hoover app, and they can download that before your session starts, so they have it to hand. So very useful tip. Thank you.
Although actually, if you'd like to, if they do, not to start working on it before the session, because that'll be one where we do, checking out where they're up to and guiding them through it. So that's not one to know well. The whole point is it's one you don't know.
So you don't read that article yet. Just
we'll try and make sure it says that at the top. Stop reading now.
Wonderful. So just to remind people watching, Jan and Susan are presenting at the NLP International Conference. They're presenting the virtual weekend on Saturday the 20th of May at 15:30 British Summer Time, because we will be in British Summer Time by then. And very much looking forward to this presentation. I'm very into efficiency and effectiveness, so I will be looking forward to this one. Thank you so much for taking time to explain a bit more about it today.
Thanks a lot, Karen.
Thank you.